Double Deuces. Bago Boogo, Boogo Bago.
What's up, guys? Mobile Studio, aka Casa del
Bago.
Bago.
Bago, Bago.
What's going on, buddy?
We're a couple miles up the road.
So far away from the other studio.
You ready to warm up? I am ready to warm up.
All right, so the warm-up today, a couple notable retirements, hanging up the rackets with Dominic Thiem and Rafael Nadal. A 45-year-old debuts in their first pro match. That means scrubs like us have a chance.
Nice.
We'll skip the Italy stuff. They won everything in a team competition. Some jackass broadcaster caught on a hot mic, not my words, but his. Doping, the subject that won't go away. And before we continue, be sure you hit that like button, share this with your friends, and subscribe. It really helps the channel. You can support us on Buy Me Pie. I'll put a QR code somewhere around here, and then the audio will be available wherever you get your podcasts. So let's start with doping, because we can't get enough of that stuff.
I think we talked about this the last pod. I don't believe the players anymore. I just feel like there's so much money involved. There's so much. They're looking for any type of edge.
Right.
And we spoke last time with Sinner, and his personal trainer had a banned substance on his hand for a cut, and he was massaging him, and it somehow tainted into his...
I'm sorry.
blood, and his hormone that increased. That's just... and these guys have so much money, and they have such great lawyers, so I understand their case, but I'm sorry, after the whole baseball thing, I just don't believe them. And then after that, Iga...
Incidentally, both top players in both the ATP and WTA,
number one.
both get hit with doping.
Trimetizidine, which we were listening to this guy Derek from More Plates, More Dates, and he was saying that my understanding is just helps you be more efficient in using oxygen, and it's less stress on your heart, so it's more of an endurance type of enhancement.
Yeah, I mean, when you're running around that court, and it's mostly what tennis is. Not only it's physical, obviously, but it's outrunning, outlasting, out enduring that other player. And if you can keep that level up better than anyone, well, shit, you're gonna win. You're gonna be number one.
If you ain't first, you're last.
If you ain't first, you're last.
Maybe.
And then he also says in that podcast, this guy Derek from More Plates, More Dates, who knows everything about supplements and banned supplements, they don't test for EPO. They're not testing for HGH. So I'm sorry. And then the whole punishment is just so strange too, and hard to understand. She didn't play for a month. That's when she was banned.
But then
she played the Billie Jean King Cup,
or one of those. It was it Billie Jean King Cup? Yeah, she played Billie Jean King Cup.
Right.
But why was that okay?
And then Halp's whole career gets lost for a year and a half.
Yeah.
And she's not able to retain any of her rankings, and it just seems like this is nothing for Iga. It's just she'll have to talk about it a little bit when she comes back.
And then she'll just keep rolling.
And then she'll probably won't talk about it after that.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's just a little special treatment for people at the top. And if they're not testing for it, and people know how to get away with it, I mean, if you got a crew, and you're a top player, and you got the money, you got the resources, you're going to get slide by. And I've heard the excuses or the justifications for why it was okay for Iga, because
I understand all this stuff is made pretty much in China, and stuff can get contaminated, and I know that happens, but it just always happens to professional athletes. I'm not buying it, and it just seems really unfair for the players that are doing it the right way, or don't have these lawyers, or I guess they probably have chemists on their team that are doing this. I'm sorry, just skeptical. McGuire, so all that stuff has me tainted. So, A-Rod, everything Balco. I just don't believe these guys are not on stuff.
Everyone should just, I don't know, they need to change the whole doping thing. It doesn't seem like there's any consistency unless you're a top player.
At least with the punishments, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, everyone should get the same penalties.
Just like baseball, it's like first offense, you miss a certain amount of games. Like they should have. I guess you couldn't do it in matches, but maybe tournaments or. Yeah, I guess it would be time, but
it has to be time. But
it's just hard to really understand the punishments. They seem like nothing.
Yeah.
To either one of them.
I'm sure this is a subject that's not going to go away. We're going to hear a new doping thing and someone else. I don't know.
Just like Derek said, they're always going to be one step ahead of the testing. So
that's when you have a good team, I guess. Speaking of good teams, there's been coaching changes.
Wow! Nice segue.
Djokovic, you got a new coach.
Andy Murray just can't get away from tennis. He can't retire for like a month. The guy can't leave. My wife must be a big ball and chain. He can't go back there.
Yeah, I was going to have time with my family, but I decided to follow Novak around the tour.
I don't think I think they're saying it's part-time and whatever. It's kind of off-season, but it makes sense. You got a guy who's really like intelligent, especially tennis IQ, and just played, knows all the players, knows the scouting reports for everyone, knows Novak's game. So, you know,
it'll be good.
Novak's he doesn't leave anything unturned. So
it'll be fun to see what happens.
I just think if he had another coach, like, what is a coach going to tell him that he doesn't already know? Like,
well, he was hinting to this, right? He'd be saying, "I need a big name for my next coach," and someone with a lot of notoriety, and then all of a sudden it's Murray. So
it's exciting. I think it's cool.
Good stuff. It's good stuff. Hubie got a couple of new people on his team.
Yeah, Lendl. Speaking of Murray, who Lendl had brought him a lot of success, and now him and Masu are going to be coaching Hurkacz.
So that'll be fun. That'll be fun to see if Hubie. Did he get hurt? I don't know why. I thought in my head he got hurt.
So he's always top 10, and he's won some tournaments, and he's a specimen, 6'5", huge serve, but he doesn't seem to ever beat the good guys, though, right? He kind of falls apart mentally.
Well, I always felt like, you figure in the past, and we'll talk about retirements here in a little bit, but you always had a solid block of like maybe 4 or 5 really top players are really tough to get through. Right? We're talking, Federer, Nadal, Djokovic, at one point Del Potro, and then Murray, all these players that were really hard to get through, and then I felt like that was just tough for them to get past. I think you ever listen to No Nothing Major podcast, they talk about it was tough to get in that second week to kind of beat all those top players and get all the way to the finals.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a little more open now, to me. I don't know, right? So maybe with the right people, someone like Hubie can make something happen.
It's probably a mental thing, because he's won Miami, he's won some big tournaments, and he's got the skills, but I don't know. And
we'll see what happens. I mean, it's fun to see some change up, because it's honestly, tennis is a little bland at the moment.
You can't just serve bland.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, not much happening off season here.
So, like we said, we mentioned this in previous episodes, but team. Dominic finally literally hung up his racket in his last.
That was so cool. They had, I guess, what would you call it, like a trophy display case?
Yeah, trophy display case. And he hung his racket up in there. That was kind of cool.
right at the service line.
Yeah,
that was cool.
So
well-liked guy. He won during COVID. Won the US Open when no one was there.
Right.
One-hander, so we both are one-handers. So we gotta love him for that. A lot of topspin. He always hit it hard.
Just after that wrist surgery, just never really.
We talked about that.
He just didn't have it.
Yeah.
It was time. I mean,
he tried for a couple years. He was doing challengers and all that stuff, and he just
couldn't grind it out.
No.
Speaking of grinding it out, Nadal finally hung it up at the Davis Cup.
Yeah, I watched it. It was disappointing. He lost to the Dutch team, and it wasn't really that close. And then that was it.
That was it. I think Alcaraz was on that team. He tried to push it through, but they didn't get past that whatever round it was.
Yeah, no ceremony. All these other guys have ceremonies, but I guess that That's just the way he is. He doesn't really seek out attention.
Yeah, I'd seen a link where he really didn't have it in him to do a farewell tour this year. So
He's got a young son, so he's got his academy.
Unlike Murray, he's not trying to find someone else.
Murray just can't give it up, but it sounds like he's at peace with everything.
Yeah.
Delpo, on the other hand,
this is a weird one because he has been playing around with that for a while. Like, I'm going to come back. I'm not going to pack. I'm going to come back. And then I saw this post where he's like, I hurt all the time. And then all of a sudden he's doing an exo, ending his career with Djokovic in Argentina.
Well, he was talking like he can't even play like soccer with his friends or pickleball. We're talking about a guy that's like 30, 31.
Right.
Or maybe, I don't know Zach age, but he's early 30s and constant pain. I know he's a big dude and he's had all these surgeries. Like, you mentioned that post. Didn't he say like 6 pills a day or something crazy? Just crazy. Well, I hope he doesn't get hooked on anything, or maybe he's talking about Advil. But and then they're talking about a knee replacement.
Didn't he have a knee surgery already, or no, or maybe not?
He's saying that others are saying I should get a knee replacement. It doesn't sound good, like the quality of life. But
he definitely can't go back on a pro tour after that.
It doesn't even sound like he can, really do anything. But I thought it was super cool that Djokovic flew down to Argentina off season. Really didn't have to do that. Whatever, he lost.
Yeah, he lost.
But at least he had some kind of closure on the court. They had Sabatini there, and
there's another Argentine
full stadium.
Former pro. It was good. It was
got
fun.
to say goodbye, and really a well-liked guy. And man, he was so exciting. When those guys were dominating, he would still beat Fed and Nadal, but he was just never healthy. Wrist surgeries on multiple sides.
I forgot he had both of them. Yeah,
I remember he couldn't even hit a two-hander. He was just hitting the slices, and he could barely play for a while there. But
last time I saw him play was at Miami Open when it was at Crandon Park the year before they moved it to Hard Rock, and that might have been one of his last few. Maybe he was playing. I don't remember what he was playing. It was a night match.
Yeah.
But dude, the crowd was so behind him.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's tons in the Miami area of Argentinians, and he won the U.S. Open. I remember he had a really an amazing match at Indian Wells, which I think he won versus Fed. Amazing player. Hopefully he gets all those physical ailments. You would think a professional athlete, he finds some kind of solutions.
Well, now he doesn't have to get
stem cells or anything.
He doesn't have to get match ready. He just needs to get healthy at this point.
Yeah, walking. It sounds like he's having trouble walking. So,
well, he didn't look bad playing Joker on that EXO.
He's probably hopped up on,
Give me that. What was the drug we talked about?
Precisionine.
Who cares? I don't need to get tested.
I'm not tested.
I'm on the way out. Just give me a shot of that stuff.
Took some gummies. Ryan Jackson style.
Oh my gosh. So Danimal, I don't remember if we talked about this, but she's not retired.
Yeah. It was hard for me to fully understand because I thought she wants to have a baby and she has some kind of issue with her uterus, and I
She said something about the endometriosis. I could be saying that wrong. Was taking longer, and she was having a good time on the tour, and probably playing her best tennis ever. So I think she just wanted to keep the party rolling until she can't anymore.
She's one of my favorites, so yeah.
I love the Danimal. Yeah.
That's cool.
Cool. So Danimal's coming back. Good to see her.
Yeah.
Hopefully we could see her again in Miami Open. Maybe she'll win it again. That'll be awesome.
Yeah.
We don't need to talk about Sinner, but he had a ridiculous season.
Yep.
Maybe a little help from a little
Doping.
something extra. Who knows?
Yeah.
The Aussie Open sees her out. I haven't really looked at it.
I can't
probably
get into it until after the holidays.
It's a little early to think about it, but it's, Brisbane's around the corner. So
a couple more weeks.
Yeah, it's sooner than we think. But
Yeah.
hey, today it's December 17th. We're recording this.
Yeah.
Hopefully, when I actually get to editing it and posting it, it won't be Aussie Open yet.
Yeah.
All right, so weird headlines. Former Manchester United striker Diego 45 years old, makes his pro tennis debut.
So I saw that. So he got a wild card to a challenger?
Yeah.
As a doubles player or as a singles?
No, he plays singles.
Okay.
He was playing singles.
Pretty amazing.
That's awesome. You know, I mean...
You're a professional athlete. I mean, it's gonna...
See these YouTube videos, making my first ATP point, making, my first pro point, and then this guy just, I'm sure he's got there's more of a backstory to this guy, but I thought that was cool at 45 years old.
Or, yeah, I mean, I'm sure he's like a really good player, but maybe people are going to show up because of this famous soccer player guy is going to be there, so maybe that's part of it. But
that's got to be part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I thought that was a cool headline, and, there's hope for us yet.
Yes.
It's still,
And then I always think of, because these sports, it just seems to be soccer and tennis, most countries are number 1 and 2. Like, imagine that was for the U.S. Like, the rest of the world has no idea how we would dominate. Like, just think of all these great athletes playing football, basketball. If they played tennis or soccer,
well,
we would destroy every country.
We have so many sports here in the U.S. though, right? We diversify in sport.
Yeah, you can make so much more money playing different sports now. I mean, so
hell, even pickleball these days, apparently.
Yeah.
Need to get it. Maybe that's what we do in our time.
No. Never.
All right, your favorite commentator and mine.
John Wertheim.
What do you think I am? Barbora Krejcikova? Look at the forehead when Krejcikova and Zhang take the court.
Who, 60 Minutes. The guy is. I'm just not a huge fan. I know he co-hosts with Racket on the Serve podcast, which we love. But yeah, I guess prior to going live, they had a zoom in on him, and he's like, "Oh, my forehead is just like."
They were talking about there's a female WTA player, Krejcikova. I'm probably saying that wrong.
Krejcikova.
He made an off-color comment, hot mic, and obviously you can't hide anything like that today with the internet in 2024.
And you can't be making fun of women's appearances in a sport that you're covering. I mean, you just...
So I heard he got a permaban on Tennis Channel, but I thought the Serve podcast was kind of part of Tennis Channel or not. I don't know.
Okay.
But he's still there on Serve.
Yeah. I didn't really think it was that big a deal if you really watch it. He was kind of joking around, but I get why it's serious. Especially the player's going to get upset. She just wants to be viewed for her play, not her appearance. But, all right.
The internet was not kind.
No, of course not.
But I just felt like it was a little...
Yeah.
It's crazy. But whatever. He'll show back up at ESPN or whatever on Tennis Channel at some point soon.
Yeah.
The world will forget.
Yep.
Short memories.
Yeah.
So as far as people coming back, Kyrios is making his comeback.
Yes. I love Kyrios. I love his game. He's talking trash. I love for him to play center.
Yeah. Did you hear? He said this. I didn't know where this came from. I saw the on X or Twitter about if I see Sinner, I'm going to do anything I can to beat him. I don't care. No holds barred. He actually said it on the Nothing Majors podcast.
I did hear that. Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, cool. He's like, I don't care.
I think he really just judges his career like, okay, yeah, I beat Novak. I beat Fed. Like he just kind of never put in the work to be consistent. Now he's hurt. Now he's probably one of the most famous tennis players that he hasn't really won anything.
No, he got to a Wimbledon.
But he's got his own show now, and he's interviewing Tyson, and he's pretty good on TV. Generally, I like him and his personality and his game, so it's great to have him back. So hopefully he can get some wins, but
we'll see what happens.
It's going to be tough. It's not going to be, does he get wild card? Like, he can't be seeded.
He's got to get wild card.
Yeah.
He's got to get butts and seats. He's going to sell tickets.
Right.
If he's Kyrios is Kyrios with his attitude and his bravado and his flair, he'll get butts in seats, and that's what really matters.
But it's his game too. It's not just his
right.
him
It's his game.
yelling
Absolutely.
at people.
Yeah.
The serve. He's got one of the best serves. He's fun to watch.
Well, we'll see. I mean, he said he's been training hard for a while now, and but the wrist, it's a wrist injury, right? He had wrist surgery, so
yeah, that never translates well, does it?
I mean, it didn't work well for Dominic, so let's see what happens.
And who's his new doubles partner?
Djokovic is playing. They're playing in Brisbane in doubles, and so that'll be fun. That'll be fun to watch.
And he used to constantly talk trash about Djokovic and mock his thing, and now they're friends. And every time that he's in the announcing booth, he's always saying what a great guy he is. So it's interesting to see that dynamic of him probably being jealous or whatever of Djokovic, and now they're boys, and now they're
going back
partners.
to like in the Wayback Machine a few years back during COVID and that whole Djokovic getting kicked out of Australia. He was one of the few pro players that were like on, supporting him. So that probably said something, why that
had his back.
Yeah, no one had his back. Even Wertheim was giving him crap back then, right?
Yeah.
So the fact that Kyrios of all people was like, no, I'm with that guy. That probably spoke volumes on how their attitude changed with each other, and I don't know. Yeah, so it'll be fun. It'll be fun to see Kyrios back. He's a fun player, and hopefully he gets far. And I want to see that center match. He says he wants that.
And then during that podcast, Sock said, I guess they're boys. Like maybe they'll play a little doubles.
Sock's been. You saw the previous one with James Blake.
Yeah, isn't that what he said? We need a wild card or something. Yeah.
Well, he said it because Kyrios was on that, right? And then are we playing doubles or? And then they started bashing the Australian Open.
Yeah.
Funny, but no, he's a character, so it'll be fun.
Yeah.
I guess the USTA has decided to use NCAA is going to use the USTA campus in Orlando for all their tennis championships. That's kind of cool of us being in Florida. It's kind of neat. But
I would love to go to a college match. We have our local school is USF, the closest D1, but I didn't seem like the schedule. I don't know. It seemed weird. We're gonna have to take a look, but it's.
I mean, Orlando's only a couple of hours away. It'd be interesting to check out
maybe we should go
championship.
To it. Yeah.
This is where remember we were talking about alternative locations for Miami Open or a big tournament in Florida.
Right.
I mean, I don't see why that campus can't do it, but it'd be cool if the NCAA thinks it could do it. Maybe we'll get a different pro.
But I want to see a whatever. I don't know what the USF league is in. I think they're USA, but like an SEC match, like a Georgia versus Auburn. Like I've never seen that, and the players are all saying that. First of all, there's fans. Like, what college? I guess there's fans, and they're talking trash, and they're college kids that are probably drunk, yelling. So
that's what I would imagine.
I would
like college kids.
I want to see that environment. I don't know. Maybe we can go to a Miami match or something.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Yeah. So, do you have any predictions for?
Yes.
2025?
So I have a few predictions. I feel that Sabalenka is going to dominate the WTA tour. I feel like Coco Gauff is going to win a major.
Ooh.
I'm saying
I like that.
France.
Oh,
French.
She's going to win the French. Okay.
Yes. For the men's, I'm going to say that Djokovic will play this year if he does not win or if he's not competitive in finals. Then I think he's going to do like I think he wants the intention. He's going to do like a farewell tour. So I'm thinking this is the last year of competitive Djokovic. And I want to say an American, but I just don't see it yet. Taylor Fritz is getting better and better every year.
He ended the year at number 4.
So
for the in the rankings for the year. So he's knocking on the door.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I want the Americans to do well too, but I feel like Fritz is the farthest along. I have hopes for TFO, but I don't know. I mean, he beat Alcaraz in that XO in Charlotte, but it's an XO. So take of that what you will.
And there's going to be more Saudi Arabia in the sport. They're going to have a big tournament. I'm telling you, it's going to be a big, you know how they had that EXO and they paid all those guys? They're going to have like they're going to give them a real tournament and they're going to make it really big and like it's going to be the most money.
Make another 1,000 level event or move one.
Yeah, they're going to get 1,000.
Where would they move? Where would they move one from? I don't know.
So yeah, that's my predictions. How about you?
Well, you know, it's interesting. I haven't thought about who would be our top of top. I like your Coco prediction, winning a major.
She's going to win a major.
You think it's the French?
I think Sabalenka is just going to dominate this year.
Yeah. I like that.
I think Iga's going to be all messed up because she couldn't even take it when she's winning. Now she's going to have all these people telling her about the doping.
Did she end third this year or second?
Yeah.
She didn't end number one. Sabalenka's
number one, yeah.
But I want to say she ended third.
I don't know. The men, it just seems like it's either Alcaraz or Sinner, and then maybe one of these guys gets hurt, or maybe
I feel like the men's is.
Those two are just going to win everything.
I was gonna say I feel like it's a little more open than it has been in the past.
I say Djokovic wins a slam.
Thank you.
I think he can win.
Yeah, he's going to win Wimbledon.
I'll give you that. Okay.
Yeah, really go out on a limb.
Yeah, I know, right? You're going to get one of the top players to win.
Yeah.
All right, you got a dark horse player that no one's thinking about?
Dark horse player.
I don't know. That's a tough one to think about. I don't know. Jack Sox to come out of retirement and win it all. Just kidding. That's not going to happen.
I want to say like Tiafoe or something, but I just don't feel like he's... Yeah,
we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
it's our
US Open going on.
Yeah. All right, so let's go down. You got some Christmas gift ideas?
Yes. Always get people tennis balls, but you gotta look. There's different levels of tennis balls. You don't want to just get the Pro Pen. You want to get.
Pro Pens are good for clay. They're probably one of the best ones for clay.
I mean, pen is good, but there's different levels of pen.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Right?
There's like the cheap pens.
There's cheap. Don't get the cheap ones. What's the one that I used to have? Pro
Pens.
Pro Pens are good.
Pro Pens are the best clay court tennis ball.
And then Penn and Wilson, if you're in America, those are the two brands you're going to see in normal places. Go to a tennis place and then ask and say, hey, what's like? You don't have to get top of the line. Yeah, I guess it is kind of top of the line. Wilson's US Open and Penn is Pro Pen.
Yeah,
get that. Get the US Open balls, Wilson or Pro Pen. You can never go wrong with those two balls.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean,
grip, over tape. What is it called?
The overgrips.
Overgrip.
Yeah, overgrips are good to have.
Ask your person what they use. Those are always good.
The Turna grip.
That's what I use.
Blue grip is pretty good. Most absorbent. They have different levels of it. Yeah. But the blue grip seems to be the best, and it's widely used. There's leather grips you can get if you want to change it up, but generally the over grips are fine.
Dampeners.
Well, I don't use one, but I used to use one. Yeah, dampeners are good. People like
stuffer.
You can go up a level if people like strings, but that's probably
you gotta know
what they want. Yeah. Even tennis bags, I feel like, is a little more of a personal choice too, to a degree. I mean, unless they specifically said, "Hey, I want this."
What's the name of the bag we have?
ADV bag, as an example.
It's a good bag. We like our ADV bags. We're looking for
those are really cool.
Energy gels, I use them in between the games. There's no type for tennis. It's just whatever,
Like the liquid IV stuff? Is that what you're talking about?
No, the gel. Like you open it up. It's not. You don't put it in the water.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, wristbands, clothes.
Yeah, wristbands.
Socks.
Wristbands, yeah, and
tennis
socks. Yeah.
Those things can burn out after
Same with
time.
the wristbands. Towels.
Yeah, towels are good. Headbands, you should. Hats.
Yeah. Stay away from the rackets are high end and it's very personal.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're going to have to ask strings and racket. I wouldn't surprise someone. The other stuff you can surprise them. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Good stuff though.
Yeah.
Or you can get the tennis bot. Did you see this thing?
That looks super cool.
It's a freaking bot that moves all around and feeds you tennis balls. I don't know if it's for sale yet. I'll put a link or something in the video, but I was like, oh, that's really neat. It would be awesome to own, but it's probably way expensive.
Yeah.
Some local news, Average Joe stuff. Powder Park got resurfaced.
We're told the lights haven't been updated, so we're gonna have to check on that. Sarasota County Park.
Hit your Leslie Nope
We're gonna have to
lady
hit you up.
Fix the lights, because apparently, but no, it's good because they needed to do that. They put a whole bunch of new pickleball courts. They put some nice LED lights over those. They need to do the same thing for the tennis courts.
It's a great park too.
Sarasota Open. I don't think there's much. We talked about this a little bit. It's coming up next year, April 6th through 13th.
Yep.
It's gonna be
Challenger.
It's a challenger event. There's been a lot of great, pros. TFO, I think, has won it at one point as an example.
Kyrios won it.
Kyrios, Nikishir, K, Special K, that won it, yeah. But it's going to be a new location, Sarasota Sports Club, a little south of town. It was funny. I was playing there a few weeks ago, and there was...
Leo's a member.
I'm a member.
I used to be a member.
They had a crew again checking all the courts, and this one guy from the USTA was checking like the lumens, how many, the light levels of some of the courts, measuring everything. And it was funny, like, you've been to Sarasota Sports Club. We were playing on court 1. He said, number 1, the lights are too low. Number 2, you don't have quite enough space from the court out from the fences, and lights, A, too low, and B, not bright enough. But just like court 14 is sized okay, but the lights aren't. It's just funny to hear all the
I am just highly skeptical because the course, listen, it's not a great club. It's member owned, and there's just not a lot of money put into it and maintenance. And they're at paint, and then you have to go through a security guard to get there.
Yeah.
You're saying it's on the website. I'm skeptical that they can pull this off. I feel like it's tens of thousands of dollars they're going to need to invest in this.
Either they got to pour a bunch of money in, or they're just going to live with it and do it. But it's been at a bunch of clubs. It's been at Laurel Oak. It's been at Lakewood Ranch.
Yeah, those are nice
obviously.
Country clubs. This is
I know. But I guess the problem, Laurel Oak is a nice club.
Right.
I've never been there. I've heard it's amazing.
Yeah, I've been there.
But they don't have space for people, crowds. So that was why it didn't stay there. And Payne, I thought, was a good spot.
Yes.
Downtown.
Maybe they're we'll see. I mean,
we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But you never know. You can always change a website.
Yep.
All right. So what's going on in your game? Or you want me to talk about what's...
My game.
You're taking a little time.
It's been trash.
I'm the trash man.
I've been getting worse. I have until February, until the season starts. So really, I've only been playing once a week, and I'm really struggling with the ball toss.
You got this little weird drift thing going sometimes.
Yeah. So I think I'll be all right. I think I'm hitting it pretty decent. I got to get in a little better shape, but I'm excited. The goal is for me to win the 5.0. It's a flex league, ultimate tennis, and I think I can.
Maybe
just
try out
seeing the guys that won, but
try that. What's the other one? The UTR one. Maybe.
I'm going to try UTR. I'm going to play more. I took a bunch of time up just for personal reasons, so I haven't been playing. So that's probably also a factor. But
yeah, you were making a little more errors than you normally would have.
Yeah, ran into it on court. I'm not a member at a place now, so I play at public parks, and I don't know what. Each park has different rules, but I believe it's supposed to be if someone's waiting, it's an hour.
Yep.
I believe there's doubles waiting. They have preference over singles players.
Yeah.
So a friend of mine and I were playing, and the guy was really just a jerk, and it got heated.
What did he ask you? He said,
he's like, "What time did you guys start?" And I lied. I'm like, I don't know. We just started. So I guess what we learned, what the proper etiquette I feel is the way I handle it is say, how much longer are you guys gonna be?
Yeah. Yeah.
And usually you get some type of answer. If it's less than a half hour or so, I'll stay. If it's not, there's other courts we can go drive to. It's not that far away, but
Right.
this guy with his wife did not, I usually say, there's another court up the street, and people don't know, and they usually just leave and go.
Yeah.
But this guy was not having it.
He's like, I wanted to play here.
Yeah. So we got in a little bit of a tiff back and forth. Then my friend Brian, who's usually a very calm guy, got heated. Yeah. So I guess. Would I feel that you should be able to finish the set, or no? What do you think that should be the proper thing?
Yeah, you should finish a set. I
could go 45 minutes, though.
I mean, in general, I think most, like you were saying, most courts have rules, and I always thought it was like 30 minutes to 45 minutes-ish.
If someone's waiting?
If someone's waiting,
okay.
Right? And that's enough to finish. It can go long. Anything's possible, but I think that's adequate. 30 minutes on the low side, 45 on the high. But yeah, you can. Hey, it depends. You obviously can drag anything out, but yeah, finish a set.
Yeah,
why not? Especially in the middle of it. That's bull.
Yeah. Anyway, I think.
So what did you learn when you encountered this again?
So what I learned is we just got on the court.
We just started.
Lie.
We just started.
No, not really. It just depends on the situation. If it's like a league match, you definitely want to do everything you can to get it in. If you're just playing with a friend, and
yeah, it's different.
I would just say, hey, do you mind if we finish the set? It's whatever. It's maybe a half hour or so.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I usually just go with, hey, we just started, and
yeah.
That way it's short and to the point, and then you're.
The problem is when they just
if they push you, then it's a different deal. Then yeah, I get it.
The problem is when people wait. It's usually you say something and then they leave, and you're like, okay.
I've never had anyone at a single court wait that long. If it's 2 or 4 courts, that's a different story. But I've never had anyone.
Well, usually what happens is these public courts, these guys give lessons and they take over a court. Mm-hmm. I don't know. In general, people in tennis are nice. This guy was a jerk. I overreacted. But the guy I was with said the guy was being a jerk too. So I tend to overreact with stuff like this, but now I just don't care as much. I'm a little bit, or just join a club. You don't have to deal with any of this, but you still kind of do.
You still get drama regardless of what happens.
Yeah.
My goodness, it's yeah. You get different drama.
Yeah.
In a club, you get different drama than you do in public parks. But whatever, it is what it is.
Yeah.
You just got to go out there and have a good attitude and have fun with it.
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
Yeah.
So, me, I was doing a singles ladder. I finished up second.
Nice.
I think I only lost like 4 matches, so that was fun. And the last second decided to do like an end
and it's
tournament.
an 8-game pro set for the match?
Yeah, which is 8-game pro set. Because of Payne Park, it was at Payne Park, and they're pretty strict on their 90-minute time limit, so that's really all you could fit in. They had a tournament there, and I kind of watched out of the first match. I lost at 8-6, so it was pretty good. It was still fun.
That's cool.
I'd do it again. I guess they're doing another one in January, so I'll kind of decide.
Okay.
And then down at Sarasota Sports Club, they do this SEC tournament where they basically have 16 teams. I think that comes out to like 92 players because it's 6 people, 3 girls, 3 guys on each team.
Okay.
And then you do kind of a bracket in your quad play, and then
it's all doubles though, right?
It's all doubles.
Okay.
So it's a men's, women's, and then a mixed, and then it's like a B and C player.
Okay.
So if you play straight up, generally your top 2 guys play men's, and then your top 2 women, and the other 2 are left to play mixed. And so I got stuck playing mixed. It's 3 rounds of play, and then whoever's the best out of that go on to play a semi and then a final. Last year I won that. My team won that tournament, which was kind of nice. Got some money. There's a Calcutta, so people bet on your team, and that was fun. But this year, figures. Last year I was the highest bid on team. This year I think was on one of the lowest bid on team.
Okay.
And then we didn't get Gary.
Different team, different players.
Different players.
Okay.
They make the teams for you, so you find out the Friday night who you're playing with, figure out what you want to do, and then Saturday you play 2 matches, Sunday you play 1, and then if you keep winning, you keep going. It was fun. I mean, a lot of people got injured this year. I don't know if just everyone's getting older or what. Like my
Maybe
team
it was
alone.
a little colder.
My team alone, one guy ruptured his Achilles. I had one girl hurt her wrist, so she found a sub. They had needed a sub for the last day, and then one other girl broke her finger.
Well, it's multiple matches in a day too, so maybe that's part.
Yeah,
Is
but
it normal match 6 like?
Yeah,
just
right.
sets?
Full 2. 2 out of 3.
Okay.
Tiebreaker, 10-point tiebreaker for a third. So that wasn't just us. There was people on other teams. I was joking with some of the people. I'm like, they need to have a medic here, like on site.
Trainer.
There's something. This keeps up. Holy crap! But it's fun. It's a lot of tennis, and I'm a little disappointed I didn't win all our matches, but it is what it is. So.
Cool.
So we'll see how it goes. So next year you're thinking
I'm playing more next year. I'm going to join these leagues and play. Where I was taking time off. I just got a little bit annoyed by just playing the same opponents, but I got to get better and beat them.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Well, there's just more people I think in these leagues too now.
Yeah.
I feel like there's more people in town coming in.
You're right.
I've reached out to there's some guy up in a little north by Liquid Ranch been trying to reach out to play, and I have been bad about.
Yeah, I got to do that too. And there's a bunch of guys.
Yeah. So, but yeah, cool. All right. End of 2024. We'll see you guys in 2025. Thanks for watching.
Oh, like and subscribe.
Yep. Do all the things. Tell your friends. See ya.